I already spoke to the commissioner. They won't look closely at the wetlands report. What is the meaning of this? We need order here!
The certified mail arrived on a Tuesday morning demanding $47,000 in HOA penalties for a property I'd owned for 12 years. I stood in my kitchen watching the steam rise from my coffee and read it twice. Outside the window, Melinda Cross was standing on her surgically trimmed lawn, pointing at my house like she was directing an invasion. My name is Logan Carter. 2 tours in Afghanistan. VA loan. 2.3 acres of breathing room on the original Hendricks farm where Willow Run cuts a natural boundary between my land and the Willow Ridge Estates development that had grown up around me over the years. I raised my 16-year-old daughter, Ava, here. After the divorce, this place became our whole world. She catches tadpoles in the creek. I run a licensed electrical contracting business from the workshop I built with my own hands. The air smells like pine dust and creek water, and nothing like the subdivisions full of chemicals on the other side of the water. Melinda Cross had been HOA president for 6 years. $800,000 house. Spotless white SUV that had never met mud. A husband named Ethan, who happened to be the county planning commissioner. That detail would matter more than anything else in this story. She had crossed my property line 18 months earlier with a clipboard and a smile that could freeze coffee. "Your workshop violates neighborhood standards," she announced. I told her I wasn't in her HOA. She told me we'd see about that. What followed was 18 months of violation notices, anonymous complaints to code enforcement, and escalating pressure designed to break a working man who she assumed couldn't afford to fight back. Then Ava turned 16. We had a backyard barbecue. Music until 9:30. Perfectly legal under county noise ordinances. Melinda called police twice. Both officers left shaking their heads. One grabbed a burger on his way out. The morning after Ava found the violation notice under my windshield wiper, then 2 weeks later, her car was keyed in the school parking lot. Long deliberate scratches spelling move across the driver's side door. Watching my daughter fight back tears over those scratches changed something in me. I drove to the county courthouse. The original 1970 deed was crystal clear. My property sat 47 feet outside HOA. Jurisdiction separated by Willow Run and protected by natural boundary law. The HOA management office had no record of my address. "Sir, if you're not in our database, you're not in our HOA." My attorney laughed when she read Melinda's lawsuit. Then she stopped laughing when we found what was underneath it. The 2009 Environmental Impact Study for Willow Ridge Estates explicitly recommended excluding my parcel due to flood zone regulations. A handwritten note in the margin read, "Commissioner Cross advised, flood zone concerns make exclusion mandatory for EPA compliance." Ethan had known my property could never legally be part of his wife's HOA. He had signed the document saying so himself. Then we found the HOA incorporation papers. They included a consent signature from Robert Hines, the previous owner of my parcel. Robert Hines had been dead for 6 months when that document was notarized. A handwriting expert confirmed the forgery immediately. The pressure patterns indicate deliberate simulation. The deceased date makes legitimate execution impossible. Melinda's mansion was drowning in debt. 3 mortgage refinances against inflated property values. She needed the neighborhood prices to stay artificially high, or her financial house collapsed. Every family she harassed and forced to renovate or relocate was propping up her equity bubble. The final piece came from my 83-year-old neighbor, Mrs. Pennington, who'd been quietly recording HOA meetings on a cassette player for years, just in case someone needed to hear the truth someday. Her recording from March 2022 played at the Planning Commission hearing through an ancient tape player that crackled with perfect clarity. Melinda's own voice filled the room. "The contractor's property technically isn't in our jurisdiction, but He'll never fight us. Working people can't afford lawyers. We just keep the pressure up until he complies or moves. It's worked on 3 other families. The room went completely silent. Then the commission chair asked Melinda to respond. She couldn't. The vote was swift. Willow Ridge HOA Incorporation was fraudulent and legally void. All fines and liens against excluded properties were nullified. Criminal referrals were sent to the district attorney. Ethan was suspended from his county role pending investigation. 6 months later, Melinda accepted a plea deal. Full restitution to every family she had targeted. Community service cleaning the creek she had tried to weaponize. Lifetime ban from serving on any HOA board. Ethan lost his county position and his contractor's license. Their mansion went to foreclosure. My countersuit settlement covered every dollar of damage to Ava's car and then some. Enough that her college fund went from community college maybe to any university she dreams of. The morning after the verdict, I stood at the fence line looking across Willow Run at the empty house where Melinda used to stand, with her binoculars timing my work schedule. The creek was still moving exactly the way it always had, indifferent to the whole thing. Mrs. Pennington brought coffee over, and we stood there listening to the water, and she said something I keep thinking about. She said bullies always assume working people can't afford to fight back. They forget that some of us have already survived much worse.